revising the 6 throat letters can be really, really tricky. So I've come up with a explanation in how to memorize the 6 throat letters. I deliver this trick in my classes and is suitable for both adults and children. So the first thing we're going to do is divide up the throat into 3 parts. We're going to look at the closest part, the middle part, and then we're going to look at the further part of our throat. So the further part is aqsa al-halaq, middle part is wasat al-halaq, and the closest part is adna al-halaq. Now, these are the, if you look at your throat, inshallah, the closest part is going to be obviously closer to your jaw area. So if we start with that area, the top area of our throat, we've got to think about, so each of these sections has 2 letters in it. So in total, you've got to memorize 6 letters. How do you do that? So the first thing you're going to do is think about your morning routine. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? And most of us can relate to the process of gargling. So many of us, when we wake up, the first thing we tend to do is gargle, whether that's rinsing our mouth or whether we're using mouthwash. We start to do the process of gargling, which sounds like oh. Now, when we do the gargling process, that produces a sound like the G, English G, which means, or we can say as oh in the phonics. So when we say oh, that sound, if we translate it into Arabic, we'll get the ghain in Arabic, because even in Arabic, gargling in Arabic is like ghagl. So it begins with a gha. So both in English and Arabic, gargling begins with a gha sound. So we translate the gha in gargling into Arabic, and we'll get our first throat letter. We will find our first throat letter at the top of our throat, adna al-halaq, as a gha. Now, how do we find the next letter next to letter gha? So we've thought about our morning routine. We know that we gargle in the morning, that produces a sound of gha. We translate that into Arabic and we get the same sounding letter in Arabic, which is a ghain, gha. So now we've got to think about what looks similar to gha. Now, many of us have friends that are very similar to us in our personalities. So usually we make friends with people that we have same interests as. I won't make friends with anybody that doesn't have the same interests as me. And a lot of us, we choose our friends that we have something in common with. So what has gha got in common with its friend? We will see. They have a similarity. They both have a dot on the top. It's a similarity, a commonality between these 2 letters. So these 2 are friends. They are friends because they share something. They have something in common. Okay, and when we have friends, we have a personality trait that we have in common. And in these 2 letters, we have the dot that is common in between these 2 letters. Alhamdulillah. So we produced gargling sound, got the letter sound gha, translated it in Arabic, got ghain. Then we've looked at what is a similarity between gha and another letter, and we looked at gha because they both have a dot. So friends, they're friends. So friends usually have some commonality between them. We're now going to think about the next 2 letters that sit in the middle of our throat. What are those 2 letters? We're going to think about the siblings of gha and ha. Who are the siblings of gha? Gha and ha both have a sibling each. Their siblings are ghain has ain and ha has ha, both siblings of the letters that come before. The gha sibling is ain, a, and ha sibling is ha. So that leaves us with the last 2 letters from the further part of the throat that we need to think of. Now, what are the letters that sound the same? Same sounding letters, same sounding as ain and ha. So we need to see in the Arabic alphabet, what are the 2 letters that sound exactly the same as ain and ha? And we come with the following 2 letters, which is our final 2 letters. They are hamza, a, and ha. So if you notice, they sound exactly the same. So ain, a, hamza, a, ha, ha, in the middle of the throat, and then ha, 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 ha. They sound exactly the same, but the position of the throat is completely different. The ain and the ha come from the middle of the throat, and while they are in the middle, the hamza and the ha come from the further part of the throat, which is a and ha. So here are your 6 throat letters that you can revise easily by just thinking about these simple tricks. I hope that you enjoyed this session, and inshallah you can employ these tricks with your students or help yourself memorize them for your next class. Do subscribe to our channel for more similar videos as this. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.